Have you ever met someone who seemed to want love more than anything until they actually got it? They chase, they long, they ache for closeness. And then, the moment it arrives, the moment someone finally chooses them back, something inside them quietly starts walking toward the exit. It doesn't make sense on the surface. Why would someone who wanted love so badly suddenly grow cold the instant they have it? Watch closely and you'll see the pattern. The texts get shorter. The plans get canceled. A small disagreement becomes a reason to disappear for a few days. Suddenly, work is more important. Hobbies are more important. Anything is more important than sitting in the warmth they once begged for. To the partner, it feels like rejection. But it isn't really about them, it's about what their presence is starting to unlock. Because here's the truth almost nobody says out loud. It was never love itself that frightened them. It was what love demands: dependence, vulnerability, the risk of being truly known and then truly left. The closer someone gets to their heart, the louder their internal alarm system becomes. Not because love is dangerous, but because somewhere inside them, love once was. To understand this, you have to go back. Not to the relationship in front of them, but to the rooms they grew up in. Picture a child whose parent was warm one day and distant the next. Affection that arrived without warning and disappeared just as fast. That child learns something no one ever says directly. Closeness is not safe. Closeness is unpredictable. Closeness is the thing right before the pain. So the nervous system adapts. It learns to brace for loss in the middle of love, because that's exactly what love used to look like. Fast forward years later, and that same nervous system is still running the old program. Someone gets close. The body remembers, even if the mind doesn't. And so, without ever deciding to, they begin to sabotage the very thing they wanted. It rarely looks dramatic. It looks like sending warmth one day and silence the next. It looks like searching for a flaw in someone almost the moment things start feeling good, as if finding a crack gives permission to leave before they can be left. It looks like overanalyzing a single text message for hours, building a case against the relationship instead of simply enjoying it. Each of these behaviors feels, in the moment, like protection, a way to stay one step ahead of the heartbreak they assume is coming. But what it actually creates is the very loneliness they were trying to avoid. And this is where so many people get the lesson backwards. They think love is supposed to feel like a chase, like proving yourself again and again to someone who keeps almost leaving. But real, healthy love isn't a maze you have to solve. It's not a performance you earn through enough patience or enough self-sacrifice. Healthy love is built on presence, on consistency, on two people choosing emotional courage even when their old wiring screams to run. And if someone refuses to do that work, refuses to face their own fear long enough to let love simply exist, that is not your failure. It is not your job to dismantle someone else's walls from the outside. You can offer safety, you can offer patience, but you cannot love someone into healing a fear they aren't ready to face. Maybe the most honest thing we can say about people who pull away from the love they wanted is this: they aren't running from you. They're running from an old, familiar terror that closeness always ends in loss. And until they turn around and look at that fear directly, no amount of love poured into them will ever feel like enough. Because the problem was never how much love they were receiving. It was whether they ever believed they were safe enough to keep it. So if you've ever loved someone like this, here's the question worth sitting with. Were you trying to win their heart, or were you quietly trying to heal a wound that was never yours to fix?